Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are still waiting for my other live feed to come online. Not really sure what's gonna happen with YouTube, but we shall find out, right? So welcome to Cookin' with Cass. The reason I'm doing both YouTube and Facebook Live is, for one, I know a lot of people have kind of geared away from Facebook a little bit, and also I'm not really sure. I'm still learning how to upload videos from my Facebook page to my YouTube page. So with that being said, part of the reason I wanted to go live on my YouTube page was so that I could actually have both videos, and just in case it doesn't come through from Facebook Live, to be able to upload it. So I'm really hoping it'll let me save it. I'm pretty sure that it will, but I like to have a backup plan. I'm learning to have a backup plan to be able to not lose my content, because I'm really trying hard to get all of my stuff in one place, especially even for myself. It's important to me to have stuff for my children to follow. We're actually getting ready to start doing some things together, and I love being able to offer them the opportunity to cook themselves. So let's see if my YouTube wants to join us. My YouTube page will be going live as well. Today we're going to be doing a couple of things. Originally I wanted to talk about my journey, but I think I'm going to wait to share that with you guys. So I've been kind of quiet on social media, and it hasn't been without purpose. So I'm not gonna play any music today. Normally I would play some music and get us going, but I feel like every time I play music, it doesn't work. So we're not gonna have music today. So if you wanna just dance with some little snapping, no, just kidding. We don't have to dance today. Today we're cooking, and I'm so excited because I'm finishing a cleanse and I feel amazing, but I'm so ready to have this meal. So today, I should have printed a picture off of the dish that we're cooking today. It's called Hibachi style veggies. That's what I call it. So I don't know. Hey, I may not be able to do it on YouTube. We may just have to go with Facebook Live and hope that that works. So we are going to cook hibachi style veggies, and we are not going to use rice. We are going to use riced cauliflower in place of rice, and we are going to learn a little bit about cauliflower and coconut amino acids. I always want to say acids. That's wrong. Coconut liquid aminos. In my brain, I just keep thinking branch chain amino acids, and so that's where my brain always goes. So it's not. It's coconut liquid amino acids. See, I did it again. What is going on? So this is my very first Cookin' with Cass. Bear with me as I learn how to video and to just learn the lingo, but I'm gonna try and keep these videos less than 15 minutes. Maximum, I would say 30, because some of the things we'll be cooking will take a little bit longer, but my goal is to show you guys how to make a quick, healthy meal on the go. Most people are working at home, and so nowadays, and so I just thought, why not share the things that I love to do, which is cooking and health and fitness. This won't be as much fitness-based as it will be health. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this guy here today. I buy Bragg's. So coconut liquid amino acid. I'm gonna untrain my brain is just on that. So we're gonna untrain my brain. Something I'm also learning about. So if you're curious, keep watching, because things will be coming. Organic coconut liquid aminos is, and I wrote some notes for myself today to stay on task because I really didn't want to get too sidetracked. But coconut aminos is actually a popular soy sauce substitute, and it's created from fermented coconut palm sap. So not only is it gluten-free, but it's also soy-free and wheat-free, and so it's an excellent alternative to soy sauce. I find soy sauce to be really sodium high in sodium, and I just can't stand when things are over salty. This is a lot lower in sodium. This suggested serving size is 1 teaspoon, and in 1 teaspoon it has 180 milligrams of sodium, which I don't think is bad, because I typically use like a teaspoon to 2 maybe on a whole entire dish, depending on what I'm working with and how, much flavor we need, I will just determine it then. So this is a very excellent alternative to soy sauce. So the next thing on our fun list today, I want to talk about frozen veggies. I'm going to tilt this down a little bit. I don't know why I'm not standing up. I could stand up, I guess, huh? So I want to talk a little bit about cauliflower. I buy this big bag from Costco or Sam's. I think Sam's also sells it, or wherever you're at in the world. If you're joining me from another country, give me a shout out on where you're from. Italy, Germany, wherever you're at, let me know that you're here and let me know what country you're from. If you're from the US, let me know what state you're in. I'm in Oklahoma. If you're just joining me for the first time, I was originally a born and raised native, and moved to Oklahoma in 2012 and have been loving it ever since. So it was an adjustment. I will say it was an adjustment to have mountainous to flat grounds. But back on topic, we are going to look at cauliflower today. So there's an endless list, and I literally wrote down just a few of the top things. And so if you see me glancing to the side, that's because I'm trying to stay with what I want to share, because I could go off on a tangent. So one of the first things is it's an amazing vegetable. There's so many nutrients in here, like literally almost every single vitamin and mineral is in cauliflower. So it's an excellent source to get a lot of your vitamins and minerals. It's also high in fiber. It's a good source for antioxidants. There's a lot of studies now that they've done actually to show that antioxidants help not only slow cancer growth and the effects of cancer and cancer cells, but it also actually has an anti-cancer effect as well if you're eating it, and you don't have cancer. It also shows that it reduces the risk of heart disease. It's a cruciferous vegetable, and so what that means is kind of like the roughage group. It is excellent to eat raw, cooked, whatever. One of the things I want to talk about today is I try not to overcook my vegetables. I feel like if you overcook the vegetables, you're kind of cooking the nutrients out of them. So that's kind of what we're going to do today, is not cook them too long. We just want to cook them till they're al dente. So one of the other things is it's low in calories. So I'm not a calorie counter, but I am of the mindset of being aware of what goes in my body. And I am highly aware that this is low in calories, and that also makes it high in fiber and high in water. So when something is low in calories, it typically means it has a high water intake. Not everything, but when we're talking vegetables. And it's just an excellent substitute instead of having your grains and your legumes. Instead of rice, instead of quinoa, this is an excellent alternative in place of those grains, especially if you're eating like a grain-free diet. I don't necessarily eat grain-free. I used to be really strict with what I ate and what I didn't eat, and now I'm a little bit more lenient, I guess, and flexible with my eating. So, with that being said, we're going to first wash our hands. 20 seconds, right? So my watch, I just found out the other day that I actually I'm gonna just turn you this way so I can keep talking to you. I actually can, my watch times when I wash my hands. So once I start this process, it actually starts counting, and I'll try and show you guys if it'll let me. But first thing you do is you always wash your hands before you get, moving in the kitchen. I think it's really important to teach your kids that. I've already washed all of my vegetables. I don't know if it's gonna show me. Oh, see, 3, 2, 1. And it stops counting if you stop washing. I didn't know it did that. So anyways, and then after I'm done washing my hands, it tells me, well done, great job, nicely done. Everybody likes to be recognized for their good works, right? So I thought that was kind of funny. The first time it did it, I was like, why is my watch vibrating and beeping at me? And it was because I had washed my hands. So anyways, I thought that was kind of cool. I had just turned it on, but I forgot that I had turned it on. So the first day it did, I was surprised. So here we have our frozen cauliflower. I don't believe that you have to eat everything fresh. In fact, there are some studies shown that frozen vegetables actually hold their nutrients better because they're basically in the same form when they start to thaw. As long as you keep them frozen, when they start to thaw, they are still as close as they were when they packaged them. So that's just something that I've learned in my studies. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this. Again, I buy this at Costco or Sam's. I just buy the big bag and keep it in my freezer. Normally, if you were going to, and I kind of break it up, if you were going to just cook this, you could just cook the bag in the microwave and then just have it as a side. But I always like to throw vegetables in with it because I just think it tastes better. So I'm gonna put this in the microwave, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you that it doesn't take that long. I was gonna start saying hi to people. I saw a couple people jumped on here. Tell me where you're from if you're just joining me for the first time. I'm in Oklahoma. If you know me and you live here in Oklahoma or from Colorado, just hit me a shout out. Oh, thank you, Christina. Good to see you on here. I have missed seeing you. So I'm not gonna talk too much to the camera, but I do want you guys to share with me where you're from. I'm gonna throw this in the microwave. Don't go anywhere. It's gonna take me 20 seconds, maybe not even that long. All right, so now while that is cooking for a minute and a half, we are going to, I've already washed these vegetables. We're going to go ahead and cut everything up. So a hack that I've learned, and I've got everything out and ready, so it's really simple. I'm looking at my watch. It is 11:43. So I'm gonna throw all of my, like the stuff that I don't eat, the things like the end of the zucchini. I should tell you what we're doing. So while the cauliflower is in the microwave defrosting a little bit, we have some zucchini, and don't judge it by its looks. It's a little bit older. We ate a lot of Thanksgiving dinner for the last like 5 days, so we didn't get to eat vegetables. So now they're kind of sad looking, but we're still gonna eat them because they still will be fine. So we have a couple of zucchini. We have 1 yellow squash. I have half of an onion, a yellow sweet onion, and then I have a couple of eggs and my coconut amino acids. So you can also, and I'm gonna cut while I talk. You can also add in other vegetables. I brought out my peppers to show you guys. Peppers are really great to add to that. I have usually every color. I don't have green right now. You can add broccoli florets. You could do the frozen broccoli, or you can do the fresh broccoli. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you cook it. If you know you have some frozen stuff, as long as you cook it all at the same time. So I'm gonna cut this down the center, and I'm gonna cut it down the center again. So I have basically I've cut it in 4s, and then typically what I do is I like cut it in half, and then I chop smaller sections. I don't know why I've always done that. And I usually have a bowl. In fact, we're gonna go ahead and do that. I usually have a bowl that I just toss everything in as I cut. And as you can hear, our cauliflower is done. So after I'm done chopping this one up, I'm actually gonna pull that cauliflower out, and we're gonna start over at the stove. So we'll stick this on the side here. And now we're to grab that cauliflower. I'm gonna take you guys with me. My microwave is in my pantry. I absolutely can't stand having my microwave out in the kitchen. So now I like having it in the pantry. It's been great since we built our new house. That was one of the things I had to have in my new house. So now we have, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but now we have our defrosted cauliflower. And I always make sure I get out a couple pans. I'm only gonna use one today, but sometimes I start looking at what I'm cooking and I'm like, ooh, that pan's not gonna be big enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cook in the bigger pan in the center of my stove. Because it's a bigger burner, it'll kind of cook things a little more evenly, a little faster. So we're gonna go ahead and just put this one away. We don't need it. And we're gonna go ahead and heat our pan up. So what I usually do is I let that heat up for just a minute. I leave it on high. I'll open my cauliflower. I don't know if you guys can see me okay. Turn it this way a little bit more. And then I have my olive oil. This is organic light. I think it's the light virgin olive oil. But I'm going to put this on as soon as I think that the pan is hot enough. I always have an extra bowl out. If I'm working with eggs, I like to have somewhere to put the eggshells. So I've prepared most of the stuff. I'm not gonna talk too much because I wanna stay on time. One of my one of my girlfriends, Andy, if you see this, I was challenged by her. I know she didn't intentionally challenge me, but she was like, that looks real easy. You know, the dinner I was cooking, and I was like, I should show them the easy short version of how I make hibachi style veggies with one pan. Typically, I don't do like a million pans. I don't know why I did that one night, but I did. So anyways, so now that this is kind of heated up, we're gonna turn it down to medium high, and we're going to go ahead and pour probably about 1 to 2, maybe 3 of the olive oil in there, and we're just gonna go ahead and pour the whole bag into the pan. Then we're gonna take whatever you like to saute with and kind of toss the cauliflower around just to kind of coat it with the olive oil a little bit. You don't want the pan too hot because it will start to fry the cauliflower. You want it to be warm so that it starts cooking the cauliflower, and then you're going to cover that up, okay? You're gonna take your lid and you're going to just stick it on top of there, and you're gonna keep an eye on it, but you're gonna come back over and you're gonna cut your rest of your vegetables. And we just have a little bit left. Remember, again, you're cutting straight down the center. We're gonna do this with the squash too. I usually cut them in half, and then and this will come with practice. You know, if you're not familiar with cooking, this is a really easy way to start getting familiar with cooking vegetables or cutting vegetables. You know, you can't really get used to doing things until you start doing them, right? You just have to start practicing. So I'm gonna cut the ends off of this yellow squash. And actually this I'm gonna cut in half first because it's a weird shape. And I'm going to cut this in 4s, just like I did with the zucchini. Sorry, my dog is ringing the bell. She wants to go outside. We have our dog's bell trained. So I don't know if you have a dog and you know, maybe they have accidents, or maybe you just want to know when they need to go outside. A bell training is amazing. So anyways, so we've got our yellow squash cut up, and I'm actually gonna let her out because when they ding the bell, I typically try to let them out within at least a minute or 2 because I don't want them to ever think I'm not gonna let them out. And she's dinging it a lot. So we're gonna let her out real quick, and then we're probably gonna wash our hands again. I'm just gonna wash them off real fast. You wanna make sure that we keep our hands clean while we're cooking. I'm still here. Just washing them, because you know, when you touch anything else outside of the kitchen, especially like doors in and out of the house, I feel like when you have kids, everything is dirty. So I just try to re-wash my hands again if I touch anything else. So now we're gonna come back over here and we're gonna kind of stir this. So the reason I put the lid on the pan for the cauliflower was because that kind of traps the liquid in there from it defrosting. So there's extra liquid when you start cooking down that cauliflower. And then I'm just gonna take my pepper. I have this cute little pumpkin. Oops, sorry. I have this cute little pumpkin. And we're just gonna kind of pepper the cauliflower a little bit. And then I'm gonna set you guys down so I can have both my hands back. And I'm trying to get rid of this. I normally would just use I just do a little bit of salt for some flavor. But I normally would use my little, like, spice jar things. But I just thought I need to use this, and it's actually gone now, so I can throw it away. Yay! You guys have things like that? Like where you try to do stuff and you try and get rid of it, like you want to use it all up? So now I'm going to turn this down to low while I finish chopping up those veggies, because I don't want the cauliflower to overcook while I'm finishing that. And actually, to get things moving a little quicker, I am going to toss all of my zucchini and squash in there. And we're gonna go ahead and stir that in there. I'm gonna actually get I'm realizing now that this is not ideal for what I wanna do. I'm gonna get a better stand so that you guys can see better, because I'm gonna start doing this more often because I have so many great recipes. I'm gonna turn this back up a little bit. So we'll say low to medium. You kind of have to gauge it based on your stovetop. Like everybody's stove is different. And so you just kind of have to go with how your stove works, okay? So we'll put the lid back on that. And actually, I might just add a little bit of liquid to that. I'll usually either do bone broth or I'll do water. It doesn't really matter. It just kind of allows the vegetables to steam a little bit. So I'm gonna bring you guys back over here where we're gonna finish chopping our onion and our carrot. I never did get my YouTube page to go live, so we're just gonna hopefully be able to upload everything later. So typically when I do an onion, I used to cut them like differently, and now I just cut them in half and then I cut them in quarters, and then it's really easy to peel off the skin. I actually learned this from like this weird, I don't know, it was some random, I think it might have even been on TikTok, somebody had suggested to just cut them in quarters and you can easily peel the skin off. This is a big hack that you guys want to listen and pay attention to. The onion, if you don't want it to burn your eyes, rinse it with cold water. Okay, if you're chopping onion, slicing onion, cold water always does the trick. So if it has the bottom part still intact, sometimes I'll just cut that little corner off. That's the core, basically. I'm not really sure what they call it. I'll find out. I always like to learn new things. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna chop this, slice it however you wanna do it. And you can pre-cut this. I just wanted you guys to show, I wanted to show you guys how quick this can be. If you're just making a meal, like it's almost lunchtime, I'm making myself my first meal off my cleanse that I feel amazing. I'm gonna talk more about that later this week. Can you guys hear me over the chopping? Probably not, huh? Alicia, what's up, chica? Thank you for joining. So anyways, I always like to notice when people are out there, Romeo's bell train too. Yes, Romeo, oh my gosh, he's so cute. I forgot about you had the, so okay, stay focused, Cassie. We're trying to make this short because I said 11:43, it's now 11:53. It's been 10 minutes, it's because I'm talking. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna toss the onion. I like mine in slices because I like to actually like taste the onion. So we're just gonna toss that in there. Then we're gonna work on the carrot while that kind of cooks up. And sometimes if you feel like you have a lot of vegetables and it's not really working out for you, that it's not really cooking the way it should cook, sorry, you know, one important ingredient that I forgot was carrot. Carrot! So we're gonna wash this bad boy real quick. And then I'm actually gonna peel it. I'm weird about carrots. I don't really like to eat the, I know it has a lot of great things in it, but I just don't feel like the carrots that I bought this last time, they're not, I don't think they're organic. They might be organic, but they just didn't seem, wasn't the same brand. So I just felt weird about it. So I'm just gonna peel the skin off just because I just feel like I need to. So, and I normally wouldn't cut on my plate, but we're just trying to save time. So now, oh, my bowl. Now we're gonna take, if you don't have a vegetable grater, this is what I use. It's like this cute little, I don't know, just a flat grater that I just put over the bowl, and I use it for like sweet potato. If you have a slippery countertop though, make sure you put this on a rubber thing because it won't. So you just go back and forth and it just kind of like shreds the carrot. But you can also do this with a cheese grater. So, and be really careful because these are super sharp. So I've learned the hard way. I know I'm doing it kind of fast, but I want you guys to see this. That it's really, it doesn't take that much time to like prepare vegetables. And my little dog is down here like, drop some carrot, drop some carrot. She loves carrot. Actually, she loves all vegetables. But don't feed your dog onions. Your dogs should not be eating onions. So I'm not gonna do the whole carrot just because of time. And I want you guys to see the rest of the cooking process and have this done before noon. That was my goal. So here we have our carrot. And as you can see, this is really starting to cook down nicely. And we're gonna start adding in our flavors. So I'm gonna go ahead and part of the reason I grate the carrot is because I feel like carrot sometimes, I'm gonna throw a little bit more olive oil. I have more vegetables in here than I expected because I made a little bit extra so that I didn't have to cook later in the week. But I totally forgot. I don't even remember what I was saying. See what happens when you start like sidetracking? But anyways, so, grating carrots. So part of the reason I grate carrots is because they cook faster when they're in smaller format. So like if you just chop carrots into like little bite sizes, it's not that fast of a cook. So the next step that we're gonna do is take our coconut amino acids. Always make sure that you shake this. I said amino acids again. Liquid aminos, coconut liquid aminos. You guys ever do that where you just get stuck on something and you can't like break your brain of it? I'm gonna break my brain of it. I'm never gonna say it again. I just decided. That's another thing I'll be talking about is decisions. So, coconut aminos, and we're gonna just, typically I do about 1 to 2 teaspoons for me. This one is a larger pan, so I'm actually gonna do 1 to 2 tablespoons. The recipe that I'll be posting later is this same exact recipe. So you will need a little bit more, but always err on the side of less is better. If it looks like it's getting really brown and you don't like salty things, just stop, okay? Because it's not salty like soy sauce, but it still is salty. You can always add it later to the dish after it's cooked. It's not like it has to be cooked into it. So now our last thing that we're gonna add in is my favorite, garlic. So this is another hack that I use. I always have minced garlic on hand, always. Okay, so I am gonna take a teaspoon of that garlic and just plop it right in there. It's so delicious, like the smell of it right now. I haven't eaten for 41 hours now, and I am so excited about this meal. And you notice, I'm not like dragging, I don't feel that I'm like down. I feel fantastic. Like this cleanse has been so great. The clarity in my mind is fantastic. Oh, I can't even tell you guys. Like, it's just amazing. So anyways, we're gonna put that lid back on. We're gonna turn it down a tiny bit. We're gonna let that cook for maybe a minute or two. And then our next step is gonna be, it's gonna be eggs. So the way that I do the eggs is I'm just kind of putting everything over to this side so that I don't have a huge mess. I always feel like if I kind of keep my mess contained while I'm cooking, then I feel a little bit better about not having to clean up this big, huge mess. So, and Blaze is actually at school today, so I'm so excited to have the kitchen to myself and have a little peace and quiet. The boys are at school. So we have our 2 eggs, and that's what this is for, this extra bowl. This thing is like not working for me today. It really is just a sad little guy. It's okay, little guy. Anyways, sorry. So I just kind of let that cook out a little bit, and the garlic is cooked into it. Oh, it smells amazing. I wish you guys could smell this. Sometimes if I'm feeling like I want something a little different, and I'm feeling like I need some sort of kick, I'll add in like cayenne or red pepper. But now, this is important, okay? This part, I will slide my vegetables over. I'm gonna show you guys here. Can you see that? So my vegetables are slid over to the side. Let me just show you. Can you see that? So there's not any vegetables in the way while I'm doing this part. And it doesn't really matter, except for that I think it might. So I do this just out of precaution. But I feel like the eggs should be cooked. And practice always makes perfect. I break my eggs with one hand. And my kids are always like, how do you do that? I'm like, I've been cracking eggs for like 35 years. So, anyways, so now we have our eggs in there. I'm gonna actually go ahead and pepper and salt the eggs a little bit. I have my little truck, my little salt and pepper shakers. So then I'm going to, see my egg is right next to the vegetables. I'm not gonna mix it into the vegetables just yet. I'm gonna find a way that I can actually just attach it so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm not gonna mix them together. And actually I'm gonna slide my heat back a little bit. I want the egg to kind of cook up a little bit before I incorporate it into my meal. So you're basically kind of making scrambled eggs. If you feel weird about cooking your eggs and your vegetables in the pan together, you can do it in a separate pan. It's not a big deal. If anything touches the egg, I just kind of pull it into the egg and let them cook together until we're ready to incorporate the whole thing. So, and now I think we're at, what time is it? Oh, it doesn't say on here. Let me look at my watch, hang tight. It's 12:02. So we started at 11:43. So this literally took me 20 minutes to make, and I was talking. So if I didn't have you guys on here, this would have probably taken me 12. So I just want to share that it's actually really simple to make healthy meals. And I love hibachi. I don't always add meat. I'm actually getting ready to start really looking at plant-based, just plant-based only. Meat does not do well with my body, and I just don't think that it's something that I'm going to continue with. I watched a really crazy, informative documentary, inspiring. So if you have Netflix, I watched the show Game Changer, and it was like mind-blowing. So now I've just kind of incorporated the eggs into that meal with all the other vegetables. And not only is this gonna be so delicious and taste amazing, but this has so many so many vitamins and minerals, and it's beautiful. Like, so when I scoop this into a bowl, let me just show you how beautiful it's gonna be. I am like really big on things being beautiful when I cook them. Unless I'm just like, Thanksgiving meal, I don't typically like worry about it, but I love having a beautiful meal. And I'm gonna put this in a white bowl so you guys can kind of see. I'm gonna get me a better, as soon as we get off the phone, I'm gonna get me a better tripod. So I have my white bowl, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn this to extra low because I know Dana's gonna wanna eat some of it. So, and he might have some meat, but actually we both are looking at going plant-based. I'll have to have him on here and I'm not, when it comes to vegetables, like, fill up your bowl, you guys. Fill them up. You don't have to hold back when you're having vegetables. And it looks beautiful, right? Let me move over here so I can just hold the bowl for you to see how beautiful it is. This bowl of vegetables tastes amazing, and it's good for you. So what are you waiting for? Like, join me. I'm gonna make myself accountable right now. Every day, I'm going to be sharing a recipe on here, Cooking with Cass. I'm building my YouTube page. I've been doing dance fitness for a really long time, and I love it, and I'm still gonna be doing that, but I'm actually going to be gearing myself a little bit more towards health and just mindset and like building your body and your mind together with the choices that you're making. And so I am so excited to have this lunch. First meal in 41 hours. You guys, let me know what you think about this recipe. I'm gonna post the recipe in its full entirety on not only in my Fit-Ovation, this page that we're on live now, but I'm also going to put it on YouTube. I may have to redo the video because I don't know if it's gonna upload from Facebook, but I'm gonna try. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And hit me up on the replay. If you're watching this on replay, type in the comments, #replay. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what maybe was missing or that you had questions about, and I would love to have a conversation with you about just healthy cooking. I'm really passionate about helping people be able to do this for themselves and do it in an easy and fun and delicious way. Like, I am like so excited. So as you guys get to see me more and see my face on here more, you're gonna get to know my quirky style and my crazy zest for life. But I am very excited to get to know each of you. So just hit me up, hit #replay. Let me know that you watched this. Let me know what you thought, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a fantastic Tuesday, you guys.